So, my brother Jake and I decided to go on a little road trip to visit Grandma over the weekend. It was supposed to be a simple drive, just us, some snacks, and our trusty old Toyota Camry. But as with most things involving Jake, it didn't take long for the wheels to fall off, figuratively speaking, of course. See, the car's radio had been on the fritz for weeks, and in an attempt to save money, Jake insisted on fixing it himself. He spent the whole night before the trip fiddling with wires, muttering about frequencies and signal boosters, whatever those are. By the time we hit the road, the radio was still a bit finicky, but Jake was confident he'd finally worked his magic. About an hour into the drive, he cranked up the volume, and we burst into an off-key rendition of Sweet Caroline. It was all fun and games until we noticed a few people in nearby cars giving us the thumbs up and grinning like they were in on something we weren't. Jake shrugged it off, claiming that our natural charisma was too powerful to ignore. I should have known then that something was up when we noticed a car full of teenagers trailing us, laughing and holding up homemade signs that said, "Encore." Things got even weirder when we stopped at a gas station, and the attendant said he'd heard us singing all the way from 3 towns over. Jake, now more curious than concerned, decided to tinker with the radio while I ran inside to grab snacks. When I came back out, he had this wild look in his eyes and said, "I think I accidentally turned our car into a mobile broadcasting station." Apparently, his fix had somehow tapped us into the state's emergency broadcast system, and our impromptu karaoke was being aired to everyone within miles of us. We were mortified, but also couldn't help but laugh at the absurdity of it all. By the time we finally reached Grandma's house, we'd gained quite the following. Our phones were blowing up with messages from people claiming they were fans of our show. Jake, ever the optimist, said, "Hey, maybe we've got a future in this." Grandma, who had caught wind of our adventure, greeted us with a twinkle in her eye and said, "Well, I always knew you'd make it big someday, but I didn't think it'd be over the airwaves." And just like that, our little road trip turned into a statewide sensation, proving once and for all that sometimes the road to fame is just a frequency away.